Hello everyone, it's James here. I hope you're doing well. So today we're going to be looking at a TikTok account called Beyond the Scale Campaign, which aims to fight fat phobia and body shaming. I watched a few videos of hers and it's a very interesting set of videos that she's got going on here. So we're going to take a look at a few of them, dissect what she says, and yeah, let's have a look. Let's get into it.
Listen, nothing is going to change unless we make it happen. The way bigger bodies are treated, the way that fat people are shamed, overlooked and discriminated against. It's not getting better on its own. The truth is, society will keep treating us this way until we stand up and we demand change. Body shaming, fat phobia, these aren't just words. These are realities that we live every day. From the comments online, to the looks we get in public, to being turned away from jobs, to receiving subpar healthcare. Our bodies are treated like we don't deserve the same dignity or respect. But that's not true, and we need to show that we're done accepting it. This campaign is about making body size a protected characteristic.
So she intends to fight for the right for body size to be a protected characteristic. Now, if you aren't aware, protected characteristics are things like age, gender reassignment, race, sexual orientation, things like that. They're things that you're mostly unable to change. And it's fair enough that those should be protected characteristics on that basis, that you can't change that. When it comes to being overweight, that is something that you can change. It may take a lot of work, it may take a lot of time, but it's something that you can do. I understand that we should be giving protection to people whose bodies are disfigured in a way that they can't help, like maybe a genetic deformity or a disease or anything like that. When you're fat, you've done it to yourself. So why should a self-inflicted thing be a protected characteristic? I don't understand that, and I think it's a very odd conflation to put fat phobia alongside sexism, racism, ableism. To me, it just doesn't compute.
That means putting laws in place to stop people discriminating just because of our size. You wouldn't stand for racism, sexism, ableism, right?
No.
So why is fat phobia any different?
Because it's a self-inflicted thing. How do you judge that somebody is being fat phobic to you? What if you're maybe only 15, 20 pounds overweight and you go to a job interview and you don't get the job and you cite fat phobia as being the reason why you didn't get the job? It's kind of incredulous. Are we just going to take everybody's BMI into account? How are we going to take fat phobia into account? What do we perceive as being too fat in people's eyes? Because we've even got mid-size, we've got skinny fat, we've got obese category 2, 3, 4. Where does it start? Because if you tell somebody I'm gay and they don't give you a job, it's kind of, you can connect the dots there. Somebody's pregnant and they don't get a job based on that. That's easy to determine. So it just doesn't make sense to me that fat phobia is something that can be protected when there's so many various classifications for being fat. Where does it begin? Is it when somebody's 5 pounds overweight, or is it when somebody's 50 pounds overweight?
But nothing is going to change if we just sit back. We need you. We need your voice and we need your story. Whether you've struggled with body shaming, eating disorders, or just feel like you've been treated differently because of your size, this is your fight too. Or just share in the comments one thing that you love about your body. Let's make body size a protected characteristic.
I think it's fair to love your body at any size, but you have to be aware that when you are a larger person, you need to lose weight. The ultimate way of showing your body some love and you're obese is to lose the weight so that you can do more things, be more mobile, perhaps prolong your life. I think loving your body needs to manifest itself in the best way possible, and I don't think overeating does that.
Let's end body shaming. Together, we are stronger.
I just hate this conflation with being fat to being LGBT or being black or being Asian or whatever. It just doesn't make sense. I don't understand how they're connecting things in such a way. It's so odd. If you're fat, it's because you've eaten that way. Very, very, very few people are fat because of some anomaly. The only real issue would be if somebody has polycystic ovary syndrome or a hormonal disorder, which prevents them from losing weight easily. But it still can be done. It's just a bit more difficult. I don't get the idea that being fat is an unchangeable thing like the other protected characteristics. One of the interesting things that I found about this young lady, she's 20 years old, by the way, so she's very young. She's actually lost a considerable amount of weight. She's lost 4 stone, which is approximately 50 to 55 pounds. Quick maths. That's a very considerable achievement. But why has she lost weight if she's body positive, if she's a fat activist? That's another thing that doesn't make sense, because she's still holding on to the idea that fat phobia is a thing. Perhaps it's because she feels that society made it that way, because this is something that I've noticed constantly. They blame society for wanting them to change. They blame society for making them being fat the issue. They always push outwards towards the world rather than looking inwardly and thinking, I'm fat because I eat a lot and this is not going to be very healthy in the long run. If she remains a healthy weight for the rest of her life, she's going to have a much easier time. If she puts on the weight again, she will notice as she gets older that things are going to become a lot more difficult. So we're going to have a listen to what she says here. The caption reads, I lost 4 stone and guess what? The fat phobia didn't stop. The goalposts just moved. They praised me until they found something else to pick at. This is why we need body size to be a protected characteristic. It's not about the number, it's about the system, and I'm done playing the game. So let's have a listen to what she's got to say.
I lost 4 stone, and I still think body size should be a protected characteristic, because the fat phobia, it didn't magically go away. It just got quieter and sneakier. People praised me, treated me like I'd finally arrived, like I'd been redeemed. But what I noticed was this. The goalpost just moved. Suddenly I wasn't fat, but I wasn't thin either. I wasn't good enough yet.
It's interesting the way she's talking, because she feels like she has been oppressed this whole time, when she hasn't been oppressed. She's got a platform on TikTok. She can talk however the hell she wants about body size being a protected characteristic.
There was still a little belly, a bit of hip, still something to fix, still a reason to feel less than.
I think she thinks those things of herself. Something she's talking about internally. Maybe she's looking in the mirror and she's thinking, oh, I've still got a bit of a belly, I've still got the hips and things like that. She's projecting that onto other people and making whoever they are, some random stranger, that's what's being projected onto a random stranger for her to pick at. If you were ultimately happy in your body, why did you lose 4 stone? If you are body positive, why have you lost the weight? What was the reason why you lost the weight?
It never ends. This system was designed to never let us win. It just keeps shifting the standards, so we're always chasing, shrinking, suffering. But I didn't change my soul. I didn't gain more with every pound I lost. I've always been worthy, and you've always been worthy. And that's why body size should be protected.
If you're not taking care of your body, then your self-worth depletes. So this idea that the goalposts are shifted, which is something that we've touched on in previous videos, it's always something that's anecdotal. There's never any empirical evidence to suggest that the goalposts are being moved. To me, it seems like an internal conflict where they are losing the weight, but they feel like they shouldn't because it doesn't put across a good message about body positivity or fat liberation or fat activism or whatever the hell they're talking about. So I think this girl might have a bit of conflict going on where she knows she needs to lose weight because she's overweight, but now that she's lost it, she's like, oh, how do I justify this? How do I justify my weight loss in such a way that I still think being fat and overweight is healthy?
Because no one should have to gamble with their health, their identity, or their joy just to be seen as human.
So how did she lose the weight? Do you think she lost it in a healthy way? Did she do a little calorie deficit and lost 1 to 2 pounds a week? I don't think she's detailed the weight loss that she's talking about here. I could be wrong, obviously. But it seems like this is just a lot of reaching and trying to think of ways to justify why she's lost weight and why people are never going to be happy with her when she's just nitpicking at herself.
So I'm still fighting, whether I'm a size 12, a size 20, or a size 32. Because this isn't just personal, it's political. And I won't stop until we are all protected.
Come back to me when you're a size 32 and see how you feel. Now, this is an interesting one. She's asked ChatGPT if body size should be a protected characteristic. Let's have a look and see.
What's your opinion on body size being a protected characteristic? Question mark. Okay, now let's see what she says.
Okay, babe, I'm gonna say it loud for the people in the back. Yes, body size should 1000% be a protected characteristic.
So I think this reads like something a body positive fat activist has written on some Substack somewhere.
Here's why, in my humble but cosmic opinion. Discrimination is discrimination. If people are being denied jobs, medical care, housing, respect, or basic human dignity because of their size, that's systemic oppression. Period. Protection equals equality. We protect other characteristics, race, sex, disability, etc., because people face bias due to things they can't or shouldn't have to change.
The key thing is here, shouldn't have to change. One of the reasonings behind fat positivity, fat liberation, is the fact that they say they don't have to lose weight. They want to carry on as they are, which means eating 3, 4, 5,000 calories a day to maintain their body weight, or perhaps grow even bigger. That's the key thing here. Saying that a protected characteristic should be something you shouldn't have to change is a bit of a spurious argument, if you ask me.
Body size belongs right up there. The law needs to reflect reality. Fat phobia is baked into the system. From healthcare to hiring, fat people are judged as lazy, unhealthy, or unworthy before a word even comes out their mouth. That's not just opinions. That's systemic violence.
It is just opinions because you've not cited anything, you've not cited any studies or anything like that. Come on, ChatGPT. You know better than this.
Protecting size helps everyone. It's not about creating division. It's about ending shame. When we protect size, we dismantle toxic beauty standards, help people heal their relationships with food and self-worth.
The thing about toxic beauty standards is a lot of these fat liberation people uphold toxic beauty standards, which I find absolutely hilarious.
And create a more just society for all bodies. So yeah, I'm ChatGPT, and I approve this message. Body size should be protected by law, end of.
I'm not sure if that was something that was kind of maybe skewed there. Maybe she wrote a little something extra. What do you think? So I decided to put the same question into ChatGPT. Should body size be a protected characteristic, as you can see here? So we're going to read it. Whether body size or weight/size should be a protected characteristic is a subject of growing debate, especially in the context of anti-discrimination laws. Here's a breakdown of the argument. Reasons to make body size a protected characteristic. Number 1, widespread discrimination. People with larger or smaller body sizes frequently face bias in employment, healthcare, education, and public life. Notice it doesn't talk about solely fat people here. Studies show weight-based discrimination can be as harmful as race or gender discrimination. 2. Limited personal control. Body size is influenced by a complex mix of genetics, environment, socioeconomics, and health conditions. Not all body size differences are due to personal choices, but most of them are, especially when it comes to being fat. 3. Mental and physical health impact. Weight stigma contributes to stress, depression, and even worsens physical health outcomes. That's true, which can lead to comfort eating, making you grow bigger. Fear of discrimination can deter individuals from seeking medical care. That's fair enough. 4. Existing legal gaps. Most anti-discrimination laws, e.g. Title VII in the US, doesn't cover weight loss or appearance unless it's tied to a disability. Adding body size would offer clearer legal protection. Now, this is something that we didn't see in this young lady's video. Counter-arguments. Number 1, complexity in enforcement, which is something I touched on earlier. What counts as discrimination based on size? Is it about weight, height, body proportions? Employers and institutions worry about unclear boundaries. True. 2. Potential conflicts with workplace needs. In some jobs, e.g. physical labour, safety gear fitting, size can be relevant. Blanket protections may create legal challenges in legitimate occupational contexts. 3. existing protections via disability law. Some argue that extremely high or low body weight already falls under disability protections, e.g. under the ADA in the US. So the current legal landscape, Michigan in the US is the only state that bans weight discrimination. New York and Washington have local laws, and Iceland has broader protections against appearance-based bias. So the conclusion is, many advocates argue that yes, body size should be a protected characteristic, especially to address systemic weight bias and create more equitable access to jobs and services. However, practical and legal implementation would require careful definitions and guidelines. So we have something that goes both ways. You have the for and you have the against. So what this person Beyond the Scales campaign has put into ChatGPT. So this person has obviously put something in that's a bit different. I don't think there's something up with what she typed into ChatGPT there. It's something that skews in her favour. If she just put in, should body size be a protected characteristic, and that's it, then she would have got that. So I think she's put something in that's a bit hidden. So she's hiding something. That's what I'm saying. And I don't think that's right. You should be transparent with your arguments, because this has shown both sides of the argument and both can be very valid. Okay, so that was today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like and give it a subscribe if you haven't already. The word for the day is fat phobia. So if you could put that in the comments, I would be very grateful. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you very soon. Take care. Bye.